This week on 49ers Sac-Hi Sports, the winter playoffs are here and we have highlights from the exciting early round games. You'll see Capital Christian take on Jesuit, Kimball face Lathrop, and Vacaville battle Whitney.
St. Francis and McClatchy girls meet in the Division I quarterfinal round. Soccer playoff action has Pioneer facing East Union. Plus, you'll meet this week's inspirational athlete, Kendall Hearn from the Sacramento High basketball team. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Bronstein. We start tonight in Carmichael, where the Jesuit Marauders ride an 11-game win streak into the quarterfinal round of the Sac Joaquin Section Division I playoffs. Andrei Stojakovic being one of just 24 players in the nation chosen as a McDonald's All-American, but this Marauder bench is deep.
It sure is. Jesuit earning the 4th seed, taking on 5th-seeded Capital Christian. The Cougars finishing as the runner-ups in the Capital Athletic League and making it to the quarterfinal round. Senior Jaden Teat looking to lead his team to a section title. Cap Christian taking on Jesuit Friday night. Capital Christian, the 5th seed, taking on 4th-seeded Jesuit. Winner plays Weston Ranch in the semifinals. The Marauders come out red hot from three-point range. Kevin Hopp Jr. is first, then it's Andrei Stojakovic, then Cole Epperson. It's 12-2 Jesuit. Stojakovic with the block, but Gavin Sykes comes back around. He grabs the steal and then punishes the rim. It is 19-11 Jesuit after one. Jaden Teat finds a lane, but throws it out to a wide open Storm Basham. It must be the hair, feathered and lethal. But the difference in the first half is this guy, Kevin Hopt. He nabs his third three-pointer, 27-18 Jesuit. Teat drives, pulls up, and hits the beautiful fade. But Hopt with 19 points in the first half. This is his 5th three-pointer. Hopt is hot, and so is Gavin Sykes from Capital Christian, taking the pass from Jalen Valdez and nailing the straightaway three. Now, I know you're wondering, where the heck is Stojakovic? Well, don't you worry, he was his usual talented self. This is a step back for 2, and the next one is for 3. Incredible shot to beat the halftime buzzer. Andre is loving that one. It is a 12-point game heading into the second half. Now, this is where many believe this game was on ice. Ajani Lewis leads Reed Jones to the glass 4-2. Then watch the hustle from Jones. He goes and grabs the steal, getting it to Owen Ubaldo and the senior, putting the Marauders up by 19 at the end of the third quarter. But in the fourth, in comes Gavin Sykes. This three from the wing makes it an 11-point game. He would have 10 points in the fourth. Jaden with the bucket and one. The senior going out with a bang. It's an 8-point game after the free throw. But Jesuit holds on strong, just like Epperson does to this rim. The Marauders live to see the semifinals. 79-64 the final in Carmichael. Jesuit will play Weston Ranch at home on Tuesday.
Over to D4, 12 Bridges from Lincoln making the 2-hour trek to Calaveras, the 4th-seeded Redhawks. This may be Jay Clifton's last home game. Jay, who's been a 4-year varsity player. The Rhinos wasted no time going to their guy, Jacob Gilchrist, and Gilly hitting the fadeaway Jay, but it did not take long for Jay Clifton to get going. This deep three bangs in, Redhawks up 8-2. And when it wasn't Jay scoring, this guy joined the party. Elijah Malamed with the step-back three, 21-10 Calaveras in the second. Then it's Malamed back to Clifton, and another three-pointer is in. Redhawks go up by 15. Then it's Malamed again with another three. This guy had 4 triples in the first half. Second half, 12 Bridges working to get back in this thing. James Sweet pulling down the miss and laying it back in. But trading 2s for 3s is not going to cut it. Make it 2s for 4s as Clifton hits the 3 and the foul. And Malamed was just having that kind of night. 6 3-pointers in the game. Here's Jonah Gilchrist getting into the action with the bucket and the foul. The start of the fourth now. Jay with the ball in his hand, doing his thing. Foot on the line. It's a very long 2 and a 24-point lead. Then Rhinos pressing. But a little bro, Ryan Clifton, finds Merrick Strange at the end of the rainbow for the score. Then Jacob Gilchrist going baseline and hitting the fadeaway. Gilly with 19 in the game. And in a fitting way, the last bucket comes from Jay Clifton in his last home game of his career. It's a pull-up Jay for Jay, and that would do it. Calaveras wins and will now take on top seed Union Mine Clifton with 26 on the night.
You know, they had a lot of size over us, so the main thing was just boxing out, playing together, having help side defense, and And we played the game plan pretty well. I think we held them like 37. So if we can do that, we should be good.
6th-seeded Atwater facing 3rd-seeded Jesuit in the quarterfinal round of the D2 section playoffs Thursday. The Marauders are quick to get on the board. Charlie Black delivers a chip shot up ahead to MJ Guillermo Gilles, and MJ fires on goal. That is his 11th on the season. Jesuit jumps out to a 1-0 lead in the 13th minute. 30th minute now, Talbot Carter gives it to Caleb Afsari, who finds Guillermo Gilles, and MJ shoots and scores once again, the senior leading his team with 12 goals on the year. It's 2-0 at the break in the second half. Afsari is given the free kick from 35 yards out, and that ball is scorched. It goes straight into the net, and it is now 3-0 Jesuit. 39th minute, Afsari now with the corner kick. Caleb with a pretty ball, and Diego Perez is there to head it in for the Marauders. Jesuit losing in the quarterfinals last year in PKs. Looks like they are back with a vengeance. Now Atwater looking to salvage their season. The free kick from Angel Villegas goes straight into the hands of Andrew Perry. Jesuit tacks on one more goal. Great move here from Atwater's Grayson Soto. The ball is stolen back though by Perez. Diego goes in with his left. Lucas Kim is there to put it away with his left, and Jesuit moves on to the semifinals with the 5-0 win over Atwater. Guillermo Gilles with 2 goals in the match.
Out to Lodi, where Ben Holt College Prep took on Houston in the D5 soccer playoffs. Ben Holt on the attack, but a great job by keeper Madison Jinks of Houston, cutting off the angle and breaking up the shot. But Ben Holt would get the revenge. Evelyn Albor with her breakaway from the group, crossed it just past the keeper and the foot of Leah Nguyen. 1-0 Bobcats. 30 minutes into the match, Ben Holt with another breakaway. This one as Albor turns on the Jets. She beats everyone for a goal. 2-0 Bobcats. All night long, Ben Holt would be popping it over the defense and tracking it down. Here, Robertson races after it, and with the left foot sneaks it past everyone. It's now 3-0. In the 35th minute, Houston gets it on track. Samantha Dowdy crosses to Kylie Sneed, who puts it away. It's 3-1 now. It's now a 4-1 game in the second half. Ben Holt College Prep was not done yet. Robertson over to Albert, and from distance, she's able to bury this one home in the 53rd minute. Houston on the attack. Ben Holt's keeper Madison Jinks holds her ground and stops a shot from point-blank range, and that would do it. 5-2 is the final. Congratulations on both teams this year.
Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Taylor Snare from East Union. Taylor won her 4th straight VOL title last week. The title came down to the very last game, and Taylor had 18 points in the 6-point win over Kimball.
Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Malachi Miller from Central Catholic. The Raiders beat Manteca last week to grab a share of the league title, with the Buffaloes' Malachi scoring 20 points in the thrilling 2-point victory. Malachi Miller and Taylor Snare, this week's Roseville Hyundai Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD teaches us how we can save energy.
Here is this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
Hi, my name's Samantha Stoll from Indercombe High School, and here's this week's Clean Power City tip. Bring reusable shopping bags to the grocery store to avoid waste with single-use shopping bags. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first SunPower electric game, Turlock travels up north to take on Rockland.
Then it's Pittman and Laguna Creek girls. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's Sac-Hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai Nexo. We've got you covered. Claim yours today.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF Niners, we just win. SF Niners, we just
The Turlock Bulldogs taking the 110-mile trip north to take on Rockland for our first SunPower Electric game tonight. The matchup is one of 3 Division I play-in games.
The Rockland Thunder, part of the Sierra Foothill League, and enters the postseason with a 13-15 record. Turlock finishing the regular season in 3rd place in the CCAL with a 16-12 record. The Tuesday matchup is our first SunPower Electric game tonight. Our Mark Willis was there.
Game.
That's right, it's the opening round of the Division I Sac-Hi section boys basketball. 18th seeded Turlock. They come from the Sac-Hi, and that's a very tough league. They're led by Jed Ladine and his 21 points per game, followed by a very wiry 6'7" center in Gavin Cox, who is averaging 18 points and 15 rebounds. They will be going up against Rockland, the 15 seed, who is super young, and they are very excited to play someone other than an SFL team. The Thunder are coming in at 10-7 versus non-league opponents. Sophomore Mark Lavernoff is the big man in the middle, scoring 15 and 10. And freshman Josiah Andrews is second on the team in scoring. The difference here will be how Turlock handles the Rockland pressure. Other than that, it's the SunPower Electric game, so let's get after it. Turlock in the dark blue making the 2-hour drive up to Rockland, and after the lights came back on for the Thunder, it was all business in the first quarter. Rockland wasting no time getting Mark Lavernoff involved early as he catches and scores inside the paint. Turlock having some success early on breaking the press as Gavin Cox finds Peter Wilson down low for the score. Here's Lavernoff scoring again inside the paint as he gets the entry pass from Kiona Marasco. Thunder up 10. Then Lavernoff steps outside and he hits one of his 3 triples in the opening quarter. Second quarter, Josiah Andrews catches the cross-court pass. Catch and release, uses some U.S. banking to score this one, and it's an 18-point lead. Turlock trying to come back from a 21-point deficit. Gavin Cox with the shot and the foul. Gav had 16 in the game. Second half, little brother Claxton Ladine had a nice game here. He hits the 3-pointer. Bulldogs down 13. Make an 11-point game when big bro Jed Levine drives and he goes glass and scores it and the foul. In the fourth now, Josh Weatherby with an offensive rebound for Turlock, kick it out to Jed, and the 3-pointer is good. Bulldogs down 7. Bulldogs feeling the momentum changing here. Jeremiah Evans was not letting the Thunder score. Weatherby jumps into the party as well, but Rockland was not phased. Canyon Rice goes strong to the cup, and he lays it in for the score. Rockland by 8. Moments later, Jed drills his 6th 3-pointer of the night. Crazy shot, and it goes in. It's a 5-point game. But that would be all for Turlock. Andrews with the inbounds pass. The lay-in as the Thunder defend their home turf in the CIF playoffs. Jed Levine went off for the Bulldogs. Lavernoff had 23 for Rockland.
We let up our energy. First half, our energy was great. Third quarter, we came out, we were flat. You know, we just got to learn from this and just 32 minutes straight energy, all 32.
In Rockland, for the SunPower Electric game, I'm Mark Willis, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Monday night out-bracket girls hoops, Pittman of Turlock visiting defending D2 section champs Laguna Creek. First quarter, couple holdovers from that title team last year. Jasmine Howard dishes to Layla Barron, and then Howard on the drive this time. This is her only 2 points of the night, but her teammates kept the ball rolling. That's Olivia McMurray for the lay-in, and the Creek goes on a 12-0 run to start the game. Pittman responds as freshman Daylin Greener finishes with the left hand and one. And then Greener once again, this time showing she's got that outside stroke as well. But the Cardinals lead 15-10 after one. Second quarter, Laguna sophomore Trinity Tao off the dribble, gets to the rack plus the foul, but the Pride has an answer. Liz Webb, a nice feed to Tony Etoff underneath, but LC closes the half with a push as Howard leads the break and hits McMurray down low, and the Cardinals take a 34-16 lead into the break. Third quarter, it's Webb to Etoff again down below. Tony led the Pride with a career-high 12 points on Monday night. She was big on the boards too, but the Cards got their outside shooting going in the third. Here's McMurray from the right wing, and now it's Jordan Ramey's turn from the left wing. And now, once again, it's McMurray. One more time from the top of the key. She led the Cards with 14, including 3 triples. To the fourth now. Pittman trying to keep this game within reach. Clarissa Marino works her way inside, but the Creek was hard to crack on Monday. Check out Layla Barron with the moves and the sweet dish to Olivia Ebuari, and Laguna Creek moves into the big bracket with a big 20-point win.
Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Joseph Donnelly with this week's health tip.
Patella or kneecap dislocations can occur during a twisting injury to the knee or a direct blow to the inner aspect of the knee. Often the patella will quickly relocate into its normal position, but it may remain dislocated, requiring urgent treatment by a medical specialist. Typically, we see a significant amount of swelling in the knee after this injury, and the knee joint range of motion may be limited. Patellar dislocations are usually treated with rest, bracing, and PT for range of motion and strength, with a return to sports in 3 to 4 months.
Coming up, Forest Hill and Valley Christian Academy meet in the Division 6 playoffs.
But first, take a look at our Sac-Joaquin section top 10 girls basketball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
Great customer service.
Always cordial and professional. A real delight doing business with Tracy Toyota.
Tracy Toyota understands that our reputation of trust makes a difference, and our reviews prove. We're with you all the way. Our customers are so happy with their buying experience, they proudly show it online. We even certify our used cars with an included warranty. During the President's Day sales event, get 3.99% on select new models. Tracy Toyota, with you all the way.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
Valley Christian Academy making it to the Division 6 semifinal round last season. The Lions begin this year's postseason with a 19-8 record led by exciting junior Chase Clary.
The Lions are the 3 seed in Division 6, set to take on 6th-seeded Forest Hill. Senior Jack Saxelby leading the Wildfires in points and rebounds this year. Forest Hill taking on Valley Christian Academy Friday night.
Brian Mueller saying hello from Roseville Friday night for the main event. Valley Christian Academy hosting Forest Hill in a D6 quarterfinal game. The Lions, as usual, come out hot. Chase Clary to Rod Williams for 3. VCA has the early lead. The Wildfires start to warm up later in the quarter. Hunter Byram with a long pass to Ben Mercado. Forest Hill down 7. If you've seen the Lions play, you know they're aggressive and force a lot of turnovers. Matthew Larson gets this one ahead to Russell Berguyev. Then Jordan Hurley finishes off with the basket and the foul. 20-6 VCA. Second quarter now. Jack Saxelby leading the Wildfire comeback. Nails the 3 off the inbounds. Then it's David Silveira on the run, finds Austin Moore for the basket, and Forest Hill has cut the lead to 6. Lions trying to respond. Daniel Barricat can't get this layup to go, but that's what we call a useful miss because he gets his own rebound, takes it to the outside, and 3 is better than 2, back to a 9-point lead. Final 30 seconds of the half. Ian Glaspie going for 3 the old-fashioned way with the basket and the foul. VCA leads by 14 at the half. To the third, the Lions' larceny continues. Clary with the steal, gets it to Williams on the run, 52-30 VCA. Clary really came alive in the fourth quarter, nails the 3 here. Then he picks up another steal, and after some fancy dribbling, we'll get 2 more. 14 of his team high 27 came in the final quarter, and VCA wins it 90-57 to advance to the semis Tuesday.
The Sacramento High basketball team enters the postseason as the 2nd seed in Division 3. Junior guard Kendall Hearn is one of the Dragons' top players.
While Sac-Hi is flying high into the postseason, our Nick Pecoraro has the story of how growing up with a single mother keeps Kendall grounded.
Sacramento High School is home to one of the most exciting players on one of the most exciting teams in the Sac-Joaquin section. 6'3" junior guard Kendall Hearn.
He's our fiery vocal leader. When we're down, he's the one picking us up most of the time. With just his energy that he brings to the court, his leadership that he brings to the court, and just the passion he has for life, not just the game of basketball.
The infectious smile, the charismatic energy, the persistent positivity, all things you might not expect from a young man raised essentially without a father.
So at the time that we split up, Kendall was 5. His relationship was definitely wanting to be a part of his son's life. That was positive when he was here and trying to be there for us, but he just decided to leave California. We just didn't keep the connection strong, unfortunately.
I think he moved out of state when I was around 11, 12 years old. Once I heard that, I just knew that I had to be the man of the house. I had to take care of my mom, I had to help her with a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of responsibilities on my end.
Kendall's upbringing reminds his head coach of what he had to go through growing up.
My life was very similar. Like I said, I was raised by my single mom, so I just see so many similarities in Kendall. And then for Kendall to be so respectful towards his mom, such a good kid, I'm just so inspired by all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just amazing that he can have that stuff going on, not really having a father around, and then being able to show up every day, do the things he does, like I said, around school, around campus, on the court. It's really amazing.
And he's doing so good. It hurts because it's like you're missing out on all this excitement that Kendall's brought to everybody's life.
But sadly, that opportunity will never come. Kendall's father suddenly passed away in early January, yet another life parallel with Coach Johnson.
My dad just recently passed away as well. On Christmas Day, he passed away. Death and grief are really hard things, especially with an absent father. You know, he's handling it how I guess any 15, 16-year-old kid would handle it. You know, he still comes with a smile, he still comes positive, he still comes energetic, he still comes as a leader.
It's been a long time since we have seen or talked to him, but there's always that thought in the back of your head, like he may come back or he may pop up at some point in time. So now it's really accepting the fact that this person, his dad's not gonna come back anymore.
While others in his shoes might turn to anger or resentment, Kendall chooses to focus on the positives.
I just thought about all the good memories I had with him, never thought about the sad stuff. When people pass, I want to think about the positive, not just the negative. So I just flash back to all the good things, and I just know that when I become a father one day, I just want to be better than him.
As a multi-sport athlete, Kendall could easily use his physical abilities to land a college scholarship, but he doesn't want to be sucked into a stereotype.
I want to play sports, but I feel like every black man says that, so I don't just want to put that as my focus.
So with a 3.8 GPA, he's making his own plan to create the future that he wants.
My best ticket is really my education, because I know I'm smart and I could do it through education, but my sports athleticism is just another outlet to help me push through more and more.
And that future includes aspirations of writing and producing his own feature film, and of course, taking care of mom.
I tell her that all the time, though. She knows I'm gonna help her out in the long run to get her anything that she wants.
I would love for him to be able to provide a life for himself. Like, whatever he wants, he can exceed that. But I know I love hearing him say he wants to take care of me. That means he's not gonna get old and leave me or something crazy like that. I know I'm gonna be somewhere watching something big that he's doing, even if it's playing sports or writing movies or books. I just want him to reach for the stars. I know he can get there.
I pray a lot for my journey to continue and just for me to be the best person I could be, no matter what. I just want to be a better basketball player, son, father in the future, and just a better person in general, and just spread positivity throughout the world.
In Sacramento, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Now, in addition to basketball and football, Kendall also competes on the track team. He hopes to write a horror or comedy film one day, but for now, we'll enjoy watching him on the field and court for one more year.
You gotta respect a good writer. All right, coming up, the mattress firm Perfect Match, McClatchy and St. Francis girls in the Division I quarterfinal round.
Then it's the McClatchy girls soccer team taking on Lincoln of Stockton. But first, here's this week's Spirit Corner featuring the Trojan dance team.
Trevor was born a champion.
He knows how to make lemonade from lemons. He also knows that comfort is all year round. So sometimes when you can't make lemonade, you make hot chocolate. Today, Trevor is proud to be a service champion. We're now offering a $58 2-for-1 special. You'll get a comprehensive AC tune-up and a free furnace safety inspection. High five service, champion attitude. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
'49ers Sac-Hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers.
We are back at Levi Stadium with this week's Mattress Firm Perfect Match. The McClatchy girls making it all the way to the semifinal game last year. The Lions returning nearly their entire team for this year's playoff run as the 4th seed in Division I.
Yep, experience counts. St. Francis drawing the 5th seed and making it to the quarterfinals after beating Rockland in the first round. The Troubadours facing McClatchy on the road Thursday in our Mattress Firm Perfect Match.
Brian Mueller at McClatchy Thursday night for a D1 quarterfinal game. St. Francis dropped their first game against the Lions back in December. McClatchy comes in riding a 10-game winning streak, and they were riding defense early in this one. Tamaria Rump rips this ball loose, takes it all the way in herself, and it's 7-0 right off the bat. But later in the quarter, the Troubadours hit them with their own medicine. Sydney Teo jumps the route, and this puts St. Francis on the board. Late in the quarter now, Nina Kane to Kyla Stanso-Williams for the corner 3, and the Lions lead 21-2 after 1. Troubies regroup in the second. Bria McGann gets the offensive board and put back, but here comes that magnificent McClatchy defense again. Kane says mine, and she will be all alone for the basket at the other end. Then it's Kane again, showing off her outside repertoire, extending the Lion lead. Norette Lewis with the steal on the other end. Ahead to, you guessed it, she's a Caniac on the floor. A personal 7-0 run by the sophomore, and McClatchy is up 26. Later in the second, check out the handles by Rump, then dishes to Mila Masters. Lions still up big. Late in the quarter, Stanso-Williams to Sienna Squires. That's good. And McClatchy rolls into the half up 40. New half, same Kane, the spin and score. She continues to have a huge night. On the other end, a little give and go action. McGann to Chidera Okoye, and then back to the source, the junior, with the basket and the foul. But the McClatchy turnover machine could not be stopped. Aaliyah Wilson sticks with this and eventually is rewarded with the takeaway, the basket, and the foul, and McClatchy goes on to win big 74-36. They will face top seed Folsom in the semis on Tuesday. Well, this was very clearly McClatchy's moment tonight. Congratulations, Lady Lions. Great movie, by the way. All right, Tamaria, let's start with you. I first want to ask you about that light the beam thing you guys got going on after the game. When did you guys start that?
Tuesday, Valentine's Day. That's the first time we had to light the beam when we played Intercom.
Yeah, kind of got a little Sacramento Kings mojo going. So speaking of mojo, you guys had it going on early on. Tons of turnovers, great defensive effort. Talk to me about that, Tamaria.
Our press is kind of our strong point. That's what get us going and get our points in transition. So we work on our press a lot. So that's what kind of get us going.
Yeah, and it worked to perfection tonight. Yep. Kyla, congrats on a big win. You guys have now won 11 straight. Do you feel like you're kind of peaking at the right time this season?
Yeah, I think we did peak at the right time, and I feel like still have a lot of games in the future and just working towards those.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about the future. Nina, you guys, except for like maybe a little lull in the third quarter, you guys played very, very well tonight. If you guys play like this the rest of the year, do you think there's anyone that can beat you?
No. If we play like this for the rest of the year, we're practically unstoppable. All we got to do is keep grinding, keep what we're doing, and we'll win it all.
All righty. Thank you very much. The Lions on to the semifinals. Congratulations, guys.
Nick Pecoraro with the 8-9 matchup in D1 girls soccer Monday. McClatchy hosting Lincoln of Stockton. About 7 minutes in, Susie Long brings it up for the Lions, across to Molly Silva, off the side post, but the rebound comes right back and she stays ready. 1-0 Lions. Later in the first half, Lincoln's Niella Sessoms with a free kick, going for it all, but Rihanna Triels gets a paw on it, and Gabriella Garibay clears it from harm. Kate Zimmerman working the give and go with Julissa Marks, and Zimmerman finishes to put McClatchy up 2-0 at the break. But Zimmerman wasn't done in the second half. A nice touch from Gwen Seifert, and Zimmerman does the rest. 18 goals on the year for KZ. Lincoln goalie Haley McCormack doing all she can to limit the damage. This save prevents a hat trick for Zimmerman, and the Trojans trying to put something together offensively now. Sessoms fires from about 25 yards, but it's Riri again in the net. Triels with a nice save to keep a clean sheet. 77th minute, Molly Silva, fancy like Applebee's on a date night. It's the second time where Silva and Zimmerman have scored multiple goals in the same game, as McClatchy moves on in the Division I bracket.
This season, Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who give it their all in their sport and give back to their schools.
In this week's Service Champion Student Spotlight, we feature Hunter Goodo from Central Catholic. Hunter is the junior class president and has been involved with ASB leadership for 2 years. Hunter is a 3-sport athlete earning a 4.3 grade point average. Great job, Hunter, this week's Service Champion Student Spotlight. Coming up, WAC League champion Lathrop hosts.
Then it's Vacaville taking on Whitney. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Welcome back to the NBC Sports Studio here at Levi Stadium. Lathrop taking home the league championship in the Western Athletic Conference. The 19-8 Spartans with a senior heavy roster led by captains Napoleon Reeves and Cameron Hayes.
The Spartans hosting the first round of the Division III section playoffs after drawing the 6th seed. Kimball gets the 11th seed, the Jaguars and Spartans in round 1 on Wednesday.
Tracy area sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way.
Brian Mueller here to show you some D3 first-round action Wednesday night with 6-seed Lathrop hosting 11-seed Kimball. Jaguars running wild early on. Savion Thompson fires it to Chris Obayajulu, and he gets this one to go to give Kimball an early lead. Back come the Spartans. Raymond Carson with a little jab step action before hitting the 3 at the top of the key. Then late in the first, Cameron Hayes to Ahmad Jaquette for 3, and that ties the game up. Still late in the opening quarter, Obayajulu with some hang time on this drive gets the basket and the foul, and the Jags take the lead back. To the second now, Jaden Richardson with the hard drive, then pulls up for the short jumper to extend the Kimball lead. Thompson driving as well, but he kicks to Armand Naweed, who drains a real deep 3, part of a 9-1 run that made it 20-11 Jags. Later in the quarter, Napoleon Reeves brings the Spartans closer with a nice bank off the glass. But here comes Obayajulu again, another and one play for the senior captain. Kimball leads 36-20 late in the quarter. They are up 23 at the half. To the third, there must be something about that spot because Lathrop's Anthony McKinnon makes it from the same spot as Naweed, but Kimball enjoyed a comfortable lead throughout the second half. Check out Obayajulu casually slinging this half-court inbounds pass, then Naweed with some smooth moves for the hoop. And Kimball goes on to win this one big, 91-49.
Ian Olson coming to you from Rockland for the opening round matchup between Whitney and Vacaville. Vacaville gets on the board first, moving the ball effectively and finding the open man in the corner, and Gavin Hamill drains the 3 ball. But Whitney took control early. Matt Schroeder throws a bounce pass to Derek Lamb, and Lamb finishes with his left plus the foul. On the other end of the floor, Nathan Schnell pairs strength with crafty footwork down low to score a Bulldog basket. Whitney used pesky defense to hold Vacaville to 15 first half points. A steal from Lamb and a slew of Wildcats after the ball leads to a fast break, and Mason Marsh follows a miss with a putback too. Hamill picks off a pass for Vacaville to force a turnover and push the ball up court. He passes ahead to Schnell, who finishes the layup. Later in the quarter, Eli Willis follows by launching a 3 from the wing for Whitney, re-extending the Wildcat lead to double digits before halftime. The Vacaville offense came to life in the second half. Schnell passes to E.J. Groves, who drains a three from the wing, and consecutive triples bring the Bulldogs within 4. But Whitney had answers. Jaden Hurtado feeds John Daly cutting in the lane, and the guard finishes the reverse to end the Vacaville run. The next Wildcat possession, Hurtado receives the pass from Schroeder in the high post, takes a dribble, and makes a big-time finish at the rim. Later in the third, Bulldog Larry Lewis takes the ball in the low post, gains position, and spins toward the hoop to finish the 2. With time running out in the quarter, Schroeder puts it on the deck, draws defenders, and kicks it to Willis in the corner to can a 3 and extend the Wildcat lead. On the other end, Hamill lets it fly from distance and knocks it down, bringing the Bulldogs within a point with 4 minutes left. The Wildcats turn to patient ball movement after passing it around the perimeter. Willis dishes to Schroeder for a spot-up 3, and it finds the bottom. With just over a minute, Schnell takes the feed from Lewis and finishes, bringing Vacaville within 2. With the Bulldogs seeking to tie or take the lead on their next possession, Hurtado makes a steal and goes straight to the rim to extend the Wildcat lead. Whitney gains the W, 52-46, advancing to Friday's quarterfinal.
Second round of the Division I girls basketball playoffs, 6th-seeded Oak Ridge taking on 3rd-seeded Antelope. Oak Ridge just wasting no time as they whip the ball around to Jessica Cornell, who rattles home a 3-pointer for the Trojans. Here's Antelope's Michelle Rice dropping the ball to Mary Carter down low, scores it, and the Titans lead 9-8 after 1. Second quarter, here's the freshman Kim Mariah Carlo with the steal, and she goes all the way, splitting the D and the foul. Titans up 3. Carter is so tough to stop. Here she knocks down the mid-range dripper. Titans by 6. Antelope gets out to a 19-11 lead here by Avery Babcock, who was our Sirs champion of the week a few weeks back. Beautiful form and touch here by Ava Edwards of Oak Ridge. The Trojans are down 5. Here's another triple by Edwards, and she sets it up. It's so pretty. That form is on lock, and Oak Ridge trails by 2 at the half. Third quarter, Babcock going hard to the hoop, changes direction, and gets the shot to drop and the foul. The Antelope extends the lead to 10 on this running hook shot by Carlo. That's a tough one to stop. Here's Carlo again with the ball, and again the freshman was making things happen, taking it to the defense. Titans lead continues to grow. Another 3-pointer by Ava Edwards stops the bleeding for a minute. But this will be the day of the Titans. Michelle Rice screams down the floor. The shot is up plus the foul, and that would do it. Antelope advances to the next round. They will take on St. Mary's Tuesday night.
Each week we showcase a top recruit from the Sac-Joaquin section.
This week's top recruit is Charlotte Kleemenhage from Folsom. The Bulldogs earning the top seed in Division I. Charlotte, the talented senior forward, will play next year at the University of Nevada.
Coming up, our second SunPower Electric game featuring Laguna Creek and Edison.
Then it's El Capitan and Casunas Oaks in girls hoops. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Tim never leaves his wife's side. But since junk sleep gave him a crick in his neck,
who's there?
He can't turn his head to see her. Now he's convinced she's left him.
Michelle?
Only our Love Your Mattress guarantee gets you the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it.
You came back.
Unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm.
We are back at Levi Stadium with our second SunPower Electric game tonight. Edison taking home a share of the SJAA title this season after finishing the regular season with a very impressive 22-5 record.
The Vikings earning the 10th seed in Division I, Laguna Creek grabbing the 7th seed. The Cardinals also finishing the season tied for first in the Metro League. Our Nick Pecoraro breaks down the matchup in our second SunPower Electric game.
Electric game.
Well, guys, I have been covering teams in the Sac-Joaquin section for more than 12 years now, and I got to say that this Division I boys field is one of the strongest that I have ever seen. And in tonight's SunPower Electric game, we've got two teams that have what it takes to bust this bracket. It's Edison and Laguna Creek. Tri-champions of the Metro League, the host Cardinals are led by Dante Walls in his 18-plus points per game, and KJ Ramey, who has at least one three-pointer in every game but one this year. The SJAA co-champion Edison is anchored by point guard Leon Mills, whose 6 assists per game ranks 4th in the section. Jahan Williams and Elijah Duncan provide outside shooting for the Vikes. Always helps to get a little boogie on before a big game, but Edison was in the mood for some soul early on. Leon Mills to Elijah Duncan to open the scoring for the Soul Vikes. And then Mills again, just taking what the defense gives him for an easy lay-in. And Edison must have heard me talking about them pregame, because here's Jahan Williams with the finish. A 7-0 run to start the game for the Vikings. But Laguna Creek's Dante Walls gets into the action. This was his only bucket of the game, however, as he left near the end of the half with what looked like an ankle but would not return. How would the Cards respond? Well, down 3 after 1, KJ Ramey connects on a triple to shrink the gap, but Edison is still in charge. Mills, fighting for a rebound, just muscles in the putback, and Mills again on the break this time, a nice no-look feed to DeLeon Neal, and Edison goes into the break up by 9 to the third. Check out this freaking laser beam of a pass from Jalen Flannery to Jaden Smith, who gets the hoop plus the foul, and Smith continues to pour it on. A strong finish with the left hand, and then again with Flannery dishing, Smith is swishing, and all of a sudden Laguna Creek is down by just 2. And then Ramey gives the Cards their first lead of the game, 31-30. It's officially a playoff ball game, folks. But Jaden Smith was a difference maker with Walls out. 10 of his season high, 13 came in the third, and the Cards lead by 1 heading to the fourth. But Leon Mills does not want his Edison career to end just yet. A tough shot falls. He had 15 to lead the Vikes, but Laguna catches fire again as Flannery hits from deep. The lead balloons to 10, and then we finish with KJ Ramey taking everyone to spin class. He led everyone with 18 on Wednesday. Laguna Creek advances, and Jaden Smith spoke about the difference in the game.
Just defense, really. I think we were down like 9 going into half, and we won by 10, so it's just defense, you know. Defense, really, and just being tenacious, you know, and timely shots, I would say.
From our SunPower Electric game, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Cosumnes Oaks hosting El Capitan in the D2 section playoffs. The Wolfpack, the 7th seed, and we get things started with the Gauchos. Emma Ramey, she gets the steal, takes it coast to coast for the bucket, 2-0 El Cap. Then we have Isabel Tan, the Hezzy crossover, and takes it in for the floater to get the Wolfpack on the board. Chantel Megana answers back by driving through the lane and converting a tough layup. It's 12-9 El Capitan at the end of the first. Dinah Lua kicks a pass out to Maddie Skinner, who does a dribble handoff to Chanel Polk, and Polk splashes the 3. But Cosumnes fights its way back. Tan dribbles to the right and creates some space, kicking it out to Nicole Tran, and that's a pure swish. Jasmine Rillo Raza fires a pass to Tran, who touch passes it to Naya Barron for the easy layup when we are tied at 16 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Gauchos answering back. Ramey with an offensive board, and Emma finds Polk, and Chanel drives before hitting the floater. 22-20, Gauchos lead it at the half. Second half, the Wolfpack start cooking in the den, starting with this pull-up 3 from Tran. This time, Barron creating a second chance opportunity. She finds Tran for another 3-pointer. Then it's Kim Hartman faking the pass to her left and hitting the mid-range pull-up. 35-24 Cosumnes at the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter now, Maya Farr putting her head down and driving to the rack for the layup. Gauchos trying to spark a comeback, but Caitlin Subayano with the Euro step, and the Wolfpack are just not letting up. Tan would lead the Wolfpack with 15, and CO wins it 46-34. They'd go on to lose in a thriller to Vista Del Lago in the quarterfinals.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Luke Mason from Rio Americano. The talented senior leads the Mighty Raiders with over 17 points a game, all while earning a 4.0 GPA.
Coming up, Lincoln takes on defending section champs Sheldon.
Then it's Espelon and Capital Christian in girls basketball. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be right back.
The Sheldon Huskies are the defending Sac-Joaquin Section Division I champs, the team falling just short of a NorCal title in 2022, but the Huskies looking to run it back this season.
11th-seeded Sheldon taking on 6th-seeded Lincoln in round 1. The Trojans coming up just short of a Tri-City League crown. Anthony Moore leads the team in points and rebounds. The sophomore now hoping to lead his team to the quarterfinal round of the Division I playoffs. The game played in Stockton on Wednesday night.
Looks like this little guy has a few years to go before high school, but the kid is a baller. His Sheldon Huskies taking on Lincoln in the D1 section playoffs. Trojans lead at 8-5 after 1. Anthony Moore puts his team up by 5 in the second on that basket. Then it's Taylor Bryant Frey with a wide open look and splash, 15-7 Lincoln. So the defending champs looking to get back in it. Tyler Rattler sees an open Muhammad Singleton at the top of the key, but the Trojans would hold on to that lead going into the half as Moore feeds the captain. Taylor Bryant Frey down low. Lincoln up 19-12 at the break. Second half, Sheldon comes out swinging. Rattler with a quick feed to Jaden Woodard in three-point territory, and it's a 4-point game. But the Lincoln lead gets extended on the Drew Malera shot from long. The Trojans show no sign of slowing down, so the Huskies have to get it done on offense. Jaden Spears to Amari Davis. Davis finding his way to the rim. The shot falls, and the junior gets the and one for the three-point play. Sheldon down by 3. Spears to a cutting Nick Stone, and check out this masterful fadeaway. Beautiful. This is a 1-point game. Huskies go on to take their first lead of the night. Singleton drives, somehow gets a pass off to Spears. Sheldon scores 19 in the third quarter and leads at 31-30 heading into the fourth quarter, but Lincoln shows back up. Anthony Moore is given a lane to the rack. Count the basket and the foul. Trojans back on top. Jaden Woodard with an unreal second half. This three-pointer part of a 17-point game for the junior, tied at 46. John Tofey reaches around, the sophomore coming up big with the and one. The free throw is missed, so it's a 2-point game with 30 seconds left. Bryant Frey lobs it. Quentin Thompson puts it up, and this game is tied at 48 at the end of regulation. Here comes overtime. Andrew Galindo from the wing. He drives, goes up, and then under. The Trojans giving it all in overtime. Check out this hustle play from Drew Malera. The steal leading to the Quentin Thompson bucket. And who better to finish off these highlights than the captain himself, Taylor Bryant Frey. He would walk away with the game-high 21 points, and Lincoln would walk away with the win. The Trojans go 25 for 32 from the free throw line, propelling themselves to the Division I quarterfinals.
Cougars versus Cougars. I'll try not to make this one too confusing for you. Number 7, Capital Christian hosting number 10, Escalon. Capital out to a fast start as freshman Daisy Throckmorton. You're a daisy if you do. And then Brandy Butler underneath now, and CC off to a quick 6-0 burst. But Macy Vickers of Escalon, this is the start of a big night for the junior, but Capital still leads 18-16 after 1. Second quarter, Kamea Braggs just cruising down court to keep Capital in front, but that all changes as Sammy Lang feeds Kelsey Webster for 3, and Escalon takes its first lead of the game. Purple and gold continues to roll. Lang on the dish again, this time to Vickers for the hoop and the harm, and Escalon goes up by 3 at halftime. Third quarter, it's Vickers again, pushing for Escalon to take that 7-10 upset, but Kamea Braggs keeps Capital within 3 after this and one lay-in. We've got a ball game here, folks. Nice ball movement from Escalon. Webster down low to Vickers, who feeds Lang, and Escalon is up by 8 after 3. To the fourth, Vickers. She's a Nebraska softball commit. The catcher leading the break all by herself, and Escalon goes up by 10. But here comes Braggs again, a spark plug for Capital. She led her Cougars with 18 on Tuesday, but the 10th seeded Cougars of Escalon were just too much down the stretch. In particular, Macy Vickers, a season-high 27, and she says do not sleep on Escalon in the D4 bracket.
We're here to fight, and we want this, and we have never won a first-round playoff game since 2005, so we're here to fight and we're here to battle.
Brian Mueller saying hello from Manteca Tuesday night, where East Union is hosting Pioneer in the first round of the D3 playoffs. Little over 10 minutes in, Patriots on the attack. but Lancer keeper Andres Garcia put in his body on the line to snag this ball and keep it scoreless. It would remain that way until the 66th minute when Matthew Nunez places this ball perfectly, then Jesse Junez with a little lob shot, and Pioneer has a 1-0 lead. But less than a minute later, the Lancers with a free kick. This looks like a 4th and goal play at the 1. The ball stuck at the goal line, but Orion Herman eventually punches it in, and we are all tied up at 1. Less than 2 minutes left. Lancers charging hard again. More chaos in the box, and David Tofola delivers. The freshman gives East Union a 1-0 lead with barely any time left. Final 10 seconds of the game, Pioneer with a last gas corner, and they can breathe easy. The final play of regulation sends this game to overtime, tied at 2. 2 10-minute halves coming up. Nothing doing in the first 10. Early in the second, Luis Bucio on the free kick, and Giovanni Perez on the other end of it. The 4th leading scorer in the country gets his most important of the season, and East Union advances with a 3-2 OT win.
Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.com to order.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports content. 49ers.Sac-Hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter. And go to YouTube and just search for your school, and all of your games will show up right there.
Coming up, we'll choose the play of the week. This could be the play of the week, maybe not.
But first, take a look at our Sac-Joaquin section top 10 basketball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
We are back to announce tonight's play of the week.
We'll list out a few contenders and then announce the winner of this week's play of the week.
Play of the week.
We will start it off with some nice moves down low from Laguna Creek's KJ Ramey. Jesuit with a big win Friday night. Cole Epperson with the slam to seal it for the Marauders. Next contender, Tamario Rumpf from McClatchy. Incredible pass through a whole bunch of defenders. Mila Masters finishing. Next play is also a beautiful dish. Muhammad Singleton from Sheldon gets the baseline pass over to Jaden Spears. But here's our play of the week. Heading back to that Jesuit Cap Christian game, Gavin Sykes with the pickpocket, and he goes to the rack for the one-handed rip. Gavin Sykes, an incredibly talented sophomore. Gavin gets the play of the week.
That's the play of the week, and that is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I am Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Bronstein. Next week we'll have the section final games in both basketball and soccer. It'll be an exciting show, so be sure to tune in. We'll see you then.